Hello all, once again welcome back to my channel. This is Dr. Sonia Musakutti and I hope all of you are fine. So unlike my previous videos, from now on I will be dealing with a specific topic for one week and another topic for another week and so on, so that you all can understand the concept of a specific topic in detail. So this week I will be discussing about the major and minor glucose metabolic pathways. In addition, I will be giving out some of the important postgraduate MCQs for the specific topics so that you all can prepare for the future exams. So before going into a topic, if you are new here, please don't forget to subscribe my channel and like this video, and please press the bell icon so that you won't miss any of my future videos. So let's start our topic. As you all know, the carbohydrates are the main energy source of our body, and in our diet, these carbohydrates are present as complex polysaccharides, that is starch and glycogen, or they are present as disaccharides, that is sucrose and lactose. These complex molecules are broken down or hydrolyzed into monosaccharide units, that is like glucose, in the GIT. This glucose undergoes varieties of metabolic pathways based on various circumstances. So, we can go through the first pathway of glucose, that is glycolysis. Actually, what is glycolysis? Glycose means sweet and lysis means splitting. In simple words, it can be termed as the splitting of glucose. The exact definition is that the glucose is converted to pyruvate or lactate along with the production of a small quantity of energy. Actually, what is the significance of glycolysis? It is the only pathway that is taking place in all the cells of the body, and it is the only source of energy in erythrocytes. In case of heavy exercises, when muscle tissue lacks enough oxygen, anaerobic glycolysis forms a major source of energy for muscles. So now we can go through the steps of glycolytic pathway. So the first step is the conversion of glucose or the phosphorylation of glucose to glucose 6-phosphate. This step is catalyzed by the enzyme named the hexokinase. This hexokinase is a key glycolytic enzyme, and this step is irreversible. This step also utilizes a molecule of ATP. The next step is the conversion of the glucose 6-phosphate to fructose 6-phosphate, and this step is catalyzed by the enzyme phosphohexosisomerase. The third step, that is the conversion of this fructose 6-phosphate into fructose 1,6-bisphosphate, it is catalyzed by the enzyme named the phosphofructose kinase, and this step utilizes a molecule of ATP. The enzyme phosphofructokinase is also called as the rate limiting enzyme, or it is also an important key enzyme of this pathway. The first three steps is also called as the preparatory phase. The 6-carbon fructose 1,6-bisphosphate is cleaved into 3 carbon units, that is 1 glyceraldehyde 3-phosphate and another 1 molecule of dihydroxyacetone phosphate. And this reaction is catalyzed by the enzyme called aldolase. The glyceraldehyde 3-phosphate is dehydrogenated and simultaneously phosphorylated to 1,3-bisphosphoglycerate with the help of NAD+. The enzyme that catalyzes this reaction is called as the glyceraldehyde 3-phosphate dehydrogenase. In the next step, the 1,3-bisphosphoglycerate is converted into 3-phosphoglycerate with the help of the enzyme 1,3-bisphosphoglycerate kinase. This reaction releases a molecule of ATP. The next step of glycolysis, 2-phosphoglycerate is converted into phosphoenol pyruvate by the enzyme called as enolase. The enzyme enolase requires magnesium ions, and by removing the magnesium ions, fluoride will irreversibly inhibit this reaction. So, for collecting the blood for sugar estimation, the fluoride is added to the blood. If not, the glucose is metabolized by the blood cells so that the lower blood sugar values are obtained. After the formation of phosphoenol pyruvate, it is converted into pyruvate by the enzyme called as pyruvate kinase. This pyruvate kinase is a key glycolytic enzyme. A molecule of ATP is released in this reaction. In the last step of glycolysis, the pyruvate is converted into lactate in anaerobic conditions by the enzyme lactate dehydrogenase. But in case of aerobic conditions, the pyruvate enters the citric acid cycle for complete oxidation. Now we can discuss about the energy yield from the glycolysis pathway. During anaerobic condition, that is when there is oxygen deficiency, one molecule of glucose is converted into two molecules of lactate and there is net yield of two molecules of ATP. Four molecules of ATP are synthesized by the two substrate level phosphorylations, but two molecules of ATP are used in the steps 1 and 3, hence net yield of ATPs are only 2. In case of aerobic conditions or when the oxygen is in plenty, the two NADH molecules are produced where each NADH produces 2.5 ATPs and there is a net gain of 7 ATPs. Next we can go through some of the MCQs of this topic. So that comes to an end to the topic glycolysis. I hope all of you understood the topic so well. See you in the next video. Till then, it's Dr. Sonia Musakuti signing off. Thank you.